Um, all right. Well, it's been, God, what has it been? 3 weeks or so?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole universe just conspired against us here lately. Um, so, where we left off, you guys were exploring the sublevel beneath the city, and you had the whole sub level, like if you recall, room one was full of computer equipment, which you activated some holographic displays. So and it was all very clean and very tidy, and wasn't much going on there. As you moved in, room two was a much smaller room, though still quite big, 30 meters square, give or take. With the right edge of it, or the left edge as you came in, but the right edge when you're looking at the map was kind of a balcony or precipice that looked over a ginormous cavern, um, which your which the pups went out and mapped, and the cavern that overlooked on this map was this huge number three cavern, but it mapped out these other passages and larger caverns, or smaller caverns, I should say. It also detected a life form down there for a moment, and then it went away. You guys moved through. Oh, I'm sorry. And in that big cavern down below, there was an enormous dish, like a satellite dish, that was set into the cavern floor itself. 100 meters across, something like that. As you continued moving through the the chambers on sublevel one, room three had a smaller one of these dishes set into the floor. Other than that, not a whole lot going on here. You moved out of that room and into room one. As you were doing that, um, TB suddenly found herself alone in the same room, in the number three room, but found herself alone, and she came up against some form. It came through the door on the other side, some form of alien life form, black carapace, uh, uh, head with metal teeth, a pointed tail, and it attacked her. And fortunately, her armor absorbed the blow of what would have been an insta kill attack, and and she shot back at the thing and wounded it pretty well, all things considered. And and all this yellow green fluid splashed everywhere and hissed as it hit the floor and burnt holes through metal and all sorts of stuff, and yet somehow none of it got on her whatsoever. Um, and then she and the alien creature found themselves with the rest of you guys, and uh, it it ran off. Oh, and you did get into room one, or room four. I'm sorry, and room four did. It contained a bunch of bodies, kind of the that looked like the giants of the statues you saw outside, and there were also these these alien creatures as well. Both the giants and the alien creatures all seem to have died from through violence. And when you actually when Doctor Mercer tried to is that right, Dr. Mercer? Yes, Dr.
Yep.
Mercer tried to get a sample. They started crumbling to dust. Um, and Yeah, you didn't really search that room much because then TB showed back up with her little friend, and it went charging away, and you guys just kind of made the decision. I think we should just get the fuck out of here. And you left. You ran back up the way you came. You got into your tractor. You went all the way out, got into your tractor, and drove away. And you were driving north through the city. Take you back to the city map. You're driving north through the city, back towards the exit. Of course, your ship is parked on the northeast side of the city, and as you cleared the city and were coming up on the ship, it was your whole world kind of tilted for a moment. And when you looked around, the city was gone. Only thing there was a giant smoking crater, and your ship was gone as well. And that's where we left off.
The ship is totally gone.
Yeah, just not
Yeah.
there.
All right. Um, and is there any evidence that it is was there? I guess.
No.
Okay. So
Oh, and you did
okay.
real quick. I'm sorry. One quick
Yeah.
thing. You did locate the power source. Your pups located the power source. Uh, in let's see. Who did we just lose? We lost Jim. Your pups did locate in the cavern sublevel. The pups did locate that power source. It was in the chamber that's marked 4 on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I imagine there is a moment in which the missing ship uh, is digested among the group. Um, and I think Elena is like trying not to panic, um, but she like looks back in the tractor, back towards everyone, and she says, "I knew it. We need to get to the power source and shut that down. Otherwise, rescue's not going to be able to get to us."
um, what
Am I
power
driving this
source?
thing?
Presumably.
Yeah, I think so, right?
Probably. Either you or
Probably.
TB'd be driving it. I'm sure.
I
Probably you.
um, the city is a big crater. Uh, what about the big scorpion tail metal thing? Is metal structure? Is it gone too?
Oh, it's gone. Yeah.
Everything's gone,
Everything's gone.
And
but
you
there's
said
a
it's
hole in the ground.
Right.
so it's like like kind of the Borg thing. It just like looks like there's like it's been scooped out, right?
Um, I would. That's an interesting question. Since you asked that question, make an observation roll.
Roger.
Because I'm a kind and beneficent GM.
Of course you are.
Success. Good job.
Awesome.
Um, you know, uh, Ace spent a short stint in the military, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, your impression of it as it's your impression of it would be that it's a crater caused by an enormous explosion.
Oh, okay.
Uh, the
But
dot. Oh, but
but
okay.
it's been here for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
not like this just happened. It's not smoking or anything. It's been there.
Mm-hmm.
All
And
right.
what about where the ship was sitting?
The ship is just not there.
So that's just been disappeared. It doesn't look like there's
Correct.
any damage
Um.
around. Or,
So the dock. How far? How far are we from the edge of the crater?
Oh, 50 meters maybe.
All right. The doc wants to look a little closer at the crater, so he's going to exit the tractor and move towards the crater.
Okay.
When I get there, I want to look at the structure of the soil content. Do I see any glassification or vitrification of the sand and dirt?
Go ahead and make an observation roll.
I hope you know where I'm heading with this. Oh, I got to pull up my sheet. There we go. Oh, come on. Oh, I got a spinning wheel of death going on. Here we go.
Wow, that's a lot of dice for one success. But
Wow.
the answer to your question is yes.
Okay.
And obviously, you don't have a real sense for how old this is, or how long it's been like this. Um, well, and that's probably not true. It's weathered. It's everything is weathered a little bit. This did not happen recently.
Yeah.
However, there's no foliage like growing down into the crater. It kind of
Right.
like the grass and stuff. It kind of just ends at the edge of the crater, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. One more last thing that I've got. I'm looking at my equipment, and none of it is okay. I got none of it, but I'll have to do a supposition based on the fact that I am a scientist. Um, I'm going to head back to the tractor and explain to everybody. Um, this crater is old, and I see signs of glassification of the sand, which means it was extremely high heat, higher than you can get with any conventional explosives. I believe what this is uh, basically a overload and explosion of the fusion reactors. So I will put to you now, um, my supposition here now is, believe it or not, with the various episodes that we've seen, the ship, this part of the ship disappearing, then coming back, um, the fact that the battle in that room, everything looked like it was extremely old. It appears to me that we're there's some kind of time distortion, and that dizzy feeling and world tilt we felt was the latest um, manifestation of it, and we have moved into the future. We've moved into a significant future of this site where the fusion reactors have detonated and the city is no longer here.
So Elena, there's like a silence, and then she gives a nervous laugh, and she says, "How is that possible?"
Well, the only way it can be possible is we're dealing with an alien technology that we haven't had time to investigate or understand. Um,
You know, I think I'm going to add to that real quick before you continue. I think that revelation is worthy of a point of stress, don't you guys?
oh God,
Of course.
I
thanks
think
for
so.
nothing.
uh, Ace is looking around for the round analog clock that I'm sure is on the dashboard of this tractor somewhere,
Of course.
or to see what the date is and the time and if that's changed.
No, it is not.
It's relative.
Yeah, but relative to what? So,
The it's relative to the tractor. Uh,
Looks like Sharif is having
yeah.
audio problems.
Uh, Shit.
So we can't hear him.
Here, let me. I'm gonna.
Oh, let's reconnect.
Yeah. Sharif. Hmm. Have you tried reconnecting? All right. Yeah.
All right. So relative.
Or is he gonna? He's gonna exit and come back.
Yeah.
Do you know what browser he's using?
I think he's got a Windows PC, so
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not sure which browser.
Not sure. Yeah, because I found that I get the best Roll 20 experience when I use Chrome instead of Firefox for
Yeah,
some.
that's what I've had to switch to too. I really don't use Chrome for anything but Roll 20. But it's yeah, it works. It's the only one that works consistently. I think.
Sharif, you
Hello?
there?
Hello, hello?
There you go.
Yeah, we got you.
Had to reconfigure my headset. Roll 20 completely forgot what I was, couldn't detect what I was using. So,
Oh yeah, that happens all the time.
yeah. Anyway, sorry for that.
No problem.
Oh,
I was
So
going to
we
say
couldn't hear you.
something.
Okay, so say it.
Yeah, I
We
was going to say after you gave out the point of stress, this might stress somebody out, stressing me out. Has anybody considered that what we're looking at might be the result of the actions we are about to take?
time limit.
no.
Oh, wow.
It. Who would know?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, let's go with caution. Whatever we end up doing, we might be the ones that blow this thing up.
so feeling that dizzy experience and the tilting of the world. Um, Let me look at my notes. Um, TB, did it feel like that time back in the sublevel when we all disappeared?
I'm assuming it did, Marty. Did it feel like that?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I asked TB if this tilting of the world that we just felt
Oh yeah, it
was the
felt.
same
Yeah,
as TB felt,
yeah, absolutely.
as she felt.
And it's the same thing Ace experienced earlier.
Well, I'm going to ask Ace. Ace, did this feel familiar?
Same damn shit.
And suddenly you were surrounded by tall, big people approaching you, and then you came back. So we've got a temporal anomaly that keeps exhibiting itself, and obviously in different places in different ways. That's probably what happened when we lost the front end of the ship. There was some temporal anomaly, but it was area based, so it didn't encompass the whole ship. So part of the ship disappeared.
Does
And
tractor have any kind of like radiation
well, that's what I was.
sensors or anything like
I don't have anything like that, so I just had to surmise the fusion
that? Yeah.
explosion based on the.
You know, that's a really interesting question. I like that question, and I don't know if I know the answer to that question. So
I looked it up. Yeah, the tractor says it can be outfitted for all kinds of different things, but it doesn't really tell you what or like what's like standard.
yeah, let's go with the being that you are a scientific mission. Let's go with the idea that it has some sort of basic sensor suite.
Okay, let's fire that up and see what it says.
All right, who would like to do a Comtech roll?
Well, who's got the best Comtech?
I've got a 2.
I've
Well,
got
it's
a
Comtech plus your
wits,
right.
Oh, 7
Yeah,
then.
I got a total of 5 for me.
and I'm a 7.
I think the
Yeah, let's-
professor there had.
I'm a
Well,
2.
I think let's. No, I think Ace should do it. Ace did the sensor sweep from the ship.
Oh, that's true.
Well, and Ace is the one who mentioned let's fire it up. So
That's right.
yeah, go
Well,
ahead and roll,
Plus, we
Ace.
got to give Ace something to do other
all
than
right.
just drive
Something.
around.
I don't know. I can't remember if I have any Comtech banked.
Oh, hold on.
I think I might.
I will know the answer to that if I can get to my legal pad, which is buried under a pile of other stuff that's con and author related, and a oh
So
By the way, real quick, I'm sorry. Did you? Marty VP, I know you did, but do you other guys? I assume at some point played Magic: The Gathering.
Yeah, years ago.
Okay.
I have not actually.
I played a little tiny bit.
Well, I sold all my stuff off years ago, and I hate to admit what all that stuff is worth now. But my wife at Second and Charles in the buyback had a kid bring in a whole bunch of Magic: The Gathering cards, and the only one they bought, and I told her buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it, was an original Korean black border print from 1996. And they paid the kid $2 for it, priced it for $10, and she got to buy it for like five. but but anyway, I've got that sitting on my desk. So, um,
Oh, and I was just going to mention, Ace needs to get a new business card. Ace Rourke, space chauffeur.
Yeah.
to answer your question, Ace, you have a die banked in piloting, but you had one in
Nah.
Comtech at one point that you used. So,
Okay. Alrighty. So here we go.
oh,
Oh,
make your panic roll, please.
Oh man.
is where's the panicking?
Isn't there a die next to the stress track?
Oh,
I think
stress level. Oh yeah, there we go.
keeping it together.
Oh,
So
Well done.
nice.
Calm,
it's
cool, and collected.
bothersome based on what Mercer explained. You would think that you would be detecting something, maybe trace radiation or something along those lines, but you're not. The sensors aren't picking up anything at all.
I got another stress. Add stress for that, right? Yeah.
No,
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 Nope.
no.
Oh, it's
Only
already
if
on.
it says so. Yep.
Yeah, it's been a while. Sorry. Okay then. Yeah. Ace is looking out and trying to use his eyeballs as an instrument to figure things out now. I guess.
Yeah.
Mark one eyeball.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so you're not detecting anything. And right as you come to that conclusion, um, you all get that sick feeling again, and the world seems to tilt and spin on you. Um, and after a moment, it settles down and it clears. And looking out the window through the tractor, you see your ship in front of you. Um, but it's missing the back third of it.
Oh
Uh,
boy.
so the it, Ace is looking at it is like we were missing our nose before, now we're missing our ass. And he goes, "Fuck this!" and he punches it to drive towards the ship. What do
Whoa,
you
whoa,
do?
whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why can't we just wait until it comes back?
I I'm not waiting for anything anymore. I'm going to get close to it.
But shouldn't it phase back to when we landed?
There's no guarantee. We don't know how these anomalies are occurring. It could have just been luck that the front end came back.
Why aren't we phasing along with it? Why is everything phasing except for us?
Well, maybe it's not. Okay. Remember, we just saw. What about the city? Is the city there?
Yeah, the city's back.
That was
Well, I
us that
mean,
phased.
I still have the same battle damage and injuries that I had before. We're not changing. The world around us is changing, right?
No. Well, we're not changing because we were affected. I believe that it's an area of effect. So we were affected by, we were in the area of effect. So our tractor, us, everything, our memories, our mind, everything was moved to a future time. And since we're in the area of effect, our relative time didn't change, but the outside time did. And now we phase back, but we didn't necessarily phase back to the time we left. Because before we shifted, the ship was all together again. Now
Right.
part of it's missing.
But we're the ones that are doing the traveling. It's not just this area that's phasing and everything inside of it is phasing.
Well, we don't know how big the area of effect is.
Well, it's got to be us because we're not changing.
Right.
We're traveling
Well, it
through.
was at least the size of the tractor and us. It could have been bigger, but it was at least us. Before, when you guys phased, that was, as far as we could tell, um, that was a relatively small area of effect because
But we're like
TB phased out, but we didn't. The rest of
we're
us didn't. So that was a fairly narrow effect.
but we're driving along in our vehicle and still phasing.
Mm,
We just
well,
phased just now, didn't we? In the vehicle while we were
yeah,
driving, we
but we
phased.
didn't drive very far. So we could have been inside the area of effect.
I guess what I'm saying is the area of effect is our van.
Oh, it could have been bigger than that.
Like we're the ones doing the traveling, not the area around us.
Well, depends
We're
on how far you define area. We didn't pay
So,
close attention to the dirt tracks outside the tractor.
so while these two are having their freshman dorm room bong discussion, um, we're, I'm taking an inventory in my head of what might be left in the stores since those showed up. Because we have the back half of our ship, right?
Right.
No,
Um,
wait,
Oh no, no, the back half of the
back
rear of the
half is
ship is
missing.
missing.
oh, the back half
With
is gone.
yeah.
Front half is there. Okay. All right. Well, and Ace is humming along some song in his head to try to keep his mind off of what's happening while he's driving.
So the city is before us.
Well, I guess it's off to your right, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's some moments of consideration, and she says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. What do we do? What do we do about this power source?"
Well, the I uh, the only artifact that we haven't checked out is the large metal structure with the scorpion tail. The power source could be feeding it, and it something inside that structure, some equipment or something, could be generating these time disturbances or time anomalies. So the idea of either shutting down the power source to get and maybe get access to the scorpion tail looking building, or finding some other way into the building to shut the thing down, one way or the other, we've got to shut it down. But the power sources were in that cavern where we saw the extremely dangerous alien life form, which TB, uh, we've been bolting for our lives here for a little while. Can you explain what happened to you? For us, you disappeared and then reappeared with this life form. What did you see when you must have phased out in time, or maybe we phased out, but didn't appear to us because the dead bodies in the room really weren't different. When you phased out, what happened? Did you
What
just did
what
you
happened,
just?
Marty? I don't remember the exact details. I don't feel like anything really was all
It's
that
been weeks
different.
since we played.
Yeah,
Right.
no, you were at the rear of the group as they were moving into the next room. They'd opened the door and were kind of looking inside and were just getting ready to start moving in, and that's when the whole world kind of tilted on you. And when it righted your when it righted, they were gone. Um, the room in front of you, the door was open, and there were the dead, desiccated bodies and everything. And then you heard the door to the previous room open behind you, and you turned around, and then the alien was there. That's pretty much how it went down.
Okay. And when it tilted, you were both back.
Yeah.
So it appears that when we feel the disorientation, it's we who are being affected because the rest of us didn't feel an disorientation. What we saw was you just went, you weren't there.
Right.
So, okay, good tip, Egon.
So what I'd like to know is how is it targeting us?
I don't know if it's
That's why
targeting.
I asked if it's us being transported or what, because if it's just us, it must have a way of distinguishing us from the rest of the environment. So are we marked somehow, or is it able to find us through walls, or how is it? We're outside now in a van driving, and it's still able to.
Well, let's think about this.
Did we
Um,
pick anything up? Did we consume something? What did we do anything like that? I don't think we did. Wait, what about that thing that didn't we
the
pick up
flute.
some relic earlier? A flute? Maybe the flute?
Yeah, but it could be, but um, unlikely. I think it appears to me that they seem to be happening randomly here, there. We had intermittent detection with something. If you were in the room and it affected the room, now we just saw you disappear, so theoretically, but you could argue that if you're standing in the middle of a desert and it affects the whole area and it transports back to somewhere else, transports you to someplace, and it feels like only you move, but the rest of the desert looks the same. You might not have noticed that part of the desert came with you because it's all desert. um, Theoretically, if the building existed in the time you got transported to and it took part of the building with you, then then you wouldn't notice because the building existed before, so voila, it looks the same. The only thing that you see are the differences, which would have been the alien. I don't know. It's all subject. It's all conjecture at this point. Um, it's also possible that the device, based on energy or whatever, it's only temporary. In other words, maybe there's a use of power and a discharge, and one or more of us get moved in the area of effect, and for some time we're there, but then it can't keep up the power and we come back. Maybe we automatically come back at some point. We're not permanently displaced.
Where is the flute right now, by the way?
The flute is in my backpack with me.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
used it. Remember, I used it to get into the entry to the caverns, actually, the big door in the temple that led us eventually to the caverns. Um,
Maybe the flute is the thing that's doing it.
well, it could be, but remember, we were getting intermittent contacts on the motion sensor when we were originally checking out the city and the scorpion tail. We were getting intermittent motion detector contacts, and then
Yep.
they would go
Just,
away.
yeah, the invisible.
Yeah. Um,
And something you guys may or may not remember, Ace was whisked away and
yes.
returned before you guys found the flute.
Right.
That's right.
Well,
It was. Yeah.
and also, also didn't was it the doctor s- who saw me apparently move in quick motion or something? Trying to remember. Somebody else
Oh,
That
felt
was
it and saw.
that was
Elena.
me. That
Yeah.
was me.
Elena
Yeah.
felt something and saw some weird shit. So I don't think it's necessarily the flute, and I don't think it's absolutely targeting us per se, but who knows what it's targeting? Who knows? Who knows if there's something inside that structure who's manipulating it? Who knows if it's the structure that's manipulating it? I just think it's interesting that there's a scorpion tail looking thing, so it's pointing down towards the city. And then we found a cavern with these big, looks like satellite dishes pointing up. So
As I
again,
recall, wasn't there some weird symbols on the scorpion tail that might have been like notes or something for the
yeah,
flute? Okay.
yeah, and so we haven't been back to the scorpion tail since then. But remember, with my big brain, I figured out how to play the notes to open the big door, and it could be, and it was cuneiform writing on these various places. It could be that if we go back to the scorpion tail, that cuneiform that we saw could be notes. Now, let me take a look at my. Let me take a look at the pictures on my digital camera. So I'm going to look. I'm going to page back through the digital camera to pull up the picture of the cuneiform that was on the scorpion tail.
Yeah.
And when I look at that, um, that was one of the original descriptions. I'm looking at my notes that said it was cuneiform, but it kind of had a musical, almost lyrical.
Correct.
So since I've already figured out the cuneiform on the entryway in the temple, I played the right notes and I opened the door. When I look at this picture, does it start to ring a bell? Does it feel like I could do the same thing?
Yes.
Okay, so I show you guys, I show everyone the picture, and I tell them I can play these notes on this flute. I bet it will open up that scorpion tail. We could get inside. I It's a conjecture, but
Well, it's our best option at this point. I say we go for it.
since we only have half a ship, we can't leave, so we might as well do something. Oh,
The-
side
mhm.
note, this is a little bit out of game. Um, I have a question, and the game mother will have to think about this one. And that is, even though you have fusion reactors and all that, moving a ship around still uses a certain amount of reaction mass, okay, which is typically compressed gases that are in subcooled gas that's in liquid form that you expand just to move the ship around and do slight maneuverings. Also, air supplies and other stuff inside the ship are often contained in tanks. If half the ship is missing and the part that's missing was cut in half right through a tank, then doesn't the gas that was in the tank get out in the atmosphere and the tank empties? And in the new time, wherever that one went, since it's only half a tank, doesn't that gas empty such that when you put it back together, there's no gas?
Yeah, more than likely.
Oh no.
Seems
So
logical.
Ace stops the tractor and looks behind him, shaking his head. You want me to turn this around?
That's all right. We'll use an oxygen generator using
You're the kind of kid who used to ask for extra
hydrolysis.
homework.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Can everybody make a mobility roll for me, please?
Oh, a mobility roll in the tractor?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Oop. Hold on a second. I got to look at my notes because right now I think I have a penalty on agility of -1. Oh,
TP
so
made it.
I, I'm unlikely to make this, but here we go. -1 on my die.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
gosh.
And it wasn't on any of the stress dice.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'm rolling my stress.
Oh, there I missed it. I'm sorry. You failed and so did Ace.
Yeah.
Yeah, make your panic roll, Elena.
That's a click on this little stress box, right?
You got it.
Okay.
All
Ooh.
right. So,
Oh man.
um the reason I asked for the mobility roll, all of a sudden the tractor tilts backwards, like towards the rear of the tractor. And it's not like that world bending tilt that you guys feel when whatever happens. Like the tractor physically just, the rear end falls. And Ace falls out of his driver's chair. I guess he wasn't seat belted in, and Elena was probably either standing up during the conversation or maybe sitting in one of the back seats or something. We need to do this. Give me 1 second. You know what? I can do it this way. I'm just gonna do it the easy way. Um, uh, Nothing. Ooh, Elena. Okay, Elena, you take 1 point of damage,
Oh wow.
which means you also gain a point of stress as you're thrown to the metal floor of the tractor. And as you start to push up, uh, from being thrown to the floor, you look to the rear of the tractor, and this is what causes your trembling. The rear of the tractor is gone. It's completely gone. You're looking out into the outside, and that's what that tilt was in the crash. The whole rear axle and everything's gone. Just over halfway down the middle of the tractor, it's resting on the ground outside.
So
Holy shit.
the back part of the tractor, the chassis is flat on the ground,
Correct.
and the front wheels are holding us up
Correct.
in the front.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that just grand?
So yeah, that's causing Elena to tremble. So she has -2 agility rolls until her panic stops.
Ugh, we got to go before one of us gets cut in half.
Um, Miss Whelan, I do not agree with you on most things, but I'm with you. Doctor unbuckles, opens the door, grabs his backpack, and jumps out of the tractor.
I follow. Is there any gear in the tractor that we need to grab that isn't on our person?
Well, it was in the cargo area in the
Yes,
back.
is in the back.
Uh,
Yeah.
oh man.
So whatever you've got on your person, let me open my sheet and take a look what I've got here. Mostly I'm thinking about water. Oh, look at me. I have 2 waters and a food in my backpack. So I'm good.
Okay. All right. Um, just TB, were you holding your gun or was that stored?
I'm always holding my gun.
Good. 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 Good.
Is that a
I'm
euphemism?
rolling down Rodeo with a shotgun. Just
How
a good
far are
pump
we
in
out?
my lap at all times.
Yeah, how far are we from the scorpion tail? Pretty. I don't know how far
Oh,
we got.
Yeah, I mean, you
Exactly.
guys are up here. If you see me pinging the map, and the
So we
scorpion
hardly
tails.
made a move in the tractor
Yeah,
before it went.
yeah, the scorpion tails in the southeast of the city.
Oh man, hold it.
Eh?
How? Okay. To get to the scorpion tail, we had to drive around the outside. We could go through the city, or we could go around the outside to the
Correct.
southeast, right? Did we happen to drive by the rear part of the ship when that happened?
Not that you would have noticed. I think.
Okay.
I
I was
think you would
trying to
have
figure out
noticed.
if we drove through an area of effect and lost back half of our ship. So there's that. Okay. Um. Well,
So I guess we're
lacking any,
hoofing it since we have half a tractor now.
I guess so. Um. I would suggest that. I would suggest to Ace that he shut down the tractor engine and everything. Make sure it's all shut down because if the back should reappear, we don't want the tractor to drive off without us. And I, let's go. What else can we do? Unless you all want to go back down into the sublevel cavern and look for the fusion reactors and shut them down
Let's go with this plan. See
with
how
an
far we
alien
get.
down there that
Yeah.
almost killed us.
Oh, it was fine. It didn't even hurt anybody.
That's plan B.
And the doc, he's a science guy. He's not a you know he's not a s- he's not a grizzled veteran of any kind of space exploration or battles or anything like that. So he's not used to this kind of thing. He's starting to sweat. His stress level is 5.
He's already used 2 Napro leaf.
I know. Well, the stress ratchets up fast so far. Which funny. This is Alien, right?
Yeah.
Funny how that works. Okay,
Well, who's
let's
all
get
got
on.
weapons? Everyone but the
Yeah, we
doctor.
don't.
Doc doesn't have a weapon.
All right.
I stab it with the ceramic flute.
Yeah.
Comes at him with 2 waters and a food.
That's right. Sorry, that was funny.
All right, so
Really was.
we've got quite a walk. Good thing is this city is a little bit of a euphemism based on cities we're used to, but
Yeah, it's only about 300 meters across.
so it's
Yeah, I mean, how far is a city block?
well, city block is typically, depending on the city, is between an eighth and a tenth of a mile.
Yeah, so
Usually a tenth of a mile, so 520 feet.
yeah, so it's like 2 city blocks across. So it's give or take, 300 meters.
Yeah, but we're going around the circumference. Anyway, let's
Yeah,
get on with it.
yeah, still not
Stop
that far.
stop talking about
Right.
it.
So
Let's do it.
I do have a pistol, Olive. So just one pistol. That's me.
All right, me too.
Oh, it's a beautiful day for a walk.
Mm,
And it's rather calm and peaceful. In fact, I
What?
yeah, nothing untoward seems to happen as you guys cross around the outside of the city towards the Scorpion Tail. Even to the extent that it seems hard to believe that any of this has happened. It feels almost safe. I'll even let you all drop a stress point, and any of you who are injured can regain a point of health.
Wow.
See, aren't I a nice guy?
you
Yeah.
are.
Interesting. Um, yeah, it's probably not a whole lot of walking. I'm guessing too. There's probably some
Several
jogging
hundred
going on.
meters.
Yeah, walk, jog, walk, jog.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys make it to the Scorpion Tail unmolested.
Okay, so we go over to the side of the thing. I think it was kind of a nondescript discussion, exactly where on the building we saw the cuneiform writing,
It
but
was it
did
was
see it.
on the rear, like on the outside bow of the tail.
Farthest away from the city?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So the doc gets there, double checks the cuneiform writing, takes out the flute, concentrates, and plays the notes that he thinks the writing um, um, mimics or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean you've done it before, so it's really not that hard. The scorpion tail, it's made out of this
Alloy
yeah,
metal.
this black gray alloy, and it's the pieces of metal appear to be it seems to be somehow ribbed, and as you're playing this, just in terms of its aesthetic, you reach the end, and the rear of the scorpion tail, an area that's about 8 foot wide and about 10 foot tall, with a thwump shoots up into shoots upward in as if it's recessing into the tail itself, and there's a there's a there's an entrance in front of you, a very soft blue light um, shines from the inside, very dim.
What
Yeah.
can we see beyond the light? Anything?
um it's it's fairly dark inside, but it looks like the light is provided by these bizarre egg-shaped objects. You've seen them before. They're spaced around the ceiling about 6 feet apart. Um,
Okay, the
but
doc takes some pictures with his camera.
okay. But there's a floor about 5 meters wide, just a metallic floor that is completely nondescript. There's nothing there. It's about 5 meters wide and about 10 meters deep. But it is the only the only detail whatsoever is a line or a seam that bisects it widthwise, um, perfectly in the middle.
Hmm.
So when you say width wise, that would be across from our left to right.
Correct.
So the floor has a seam in it. You sure this isn't Dungeons and Dragons and that floor is going to tilt? We're going to slide to our deaths?
If it were Dungeons and Dragons, there'd be a big red button on the far side of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Gary Larson cartoon.
That's right. Yeah. What is the line? Larry always knew one day he'd have to press the big red button. Something like
Something
that.
like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was in a big control room that looked like a reactor control
Yeah,
room.
that's right.
All right. Um, the doc turns around and looks at everybody, shrugs. Well, this is what we came for. He puts the flute back in his backpack and moves forward. Well, the doc isn't the bravest guy in the world, but he he understands this. When you've got no actions left, you
Right.
got to take the obvious one. So he goes into the room.
All right. Elena watches him for a second and then follows him.
I'm behind you every step of the way. Get into any heavy action.
And
I'll be behind
doesn't
you every step of the way.
doesn't know what to do tactically, but she is going to like attempt to cover, let's say, like the left side of the room with her gun trembling.
Yeah, Miss Whelan, I would really appreciate it if you could keep that thing aimed down and away.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry about me. Let's just do what we need to do, and I'll keep this thing off your back. I'll just get me back to buying paper clips.
Can you at least promise to keep your finger on the trigger guard and
Wait,
not on the trigger?
this thing?
Ace goes
When she
over and
says, I
moves
have this
it.
vision that when she says this thing, she holds the weapon up so to look at the trigger guard
Yeah.
and points it right at the doc. So the doc moves his hand slowly and pushes the gun away from him and says, yes, that thing.
She slowly nods, trembling.
All right. So it's the two of us. The um, the doc looks back at TB and Ace, and then starts looking around the walls of this room? See, and you see light from the little eggy things, but are there any markings or anything discernible? Switches, levers, anything on the walls?
There is absolutely nothing.
Smooth as a baby's bottom, eh?
Correct. And I will provide one additional detail that I did not give and I should have, and that's my fault. I told you that there was kind of a seam in the floor that split it widthwise.
Correct.
The other half of the room, the part further in, is further split by another seam down the down the depth axis, and so that the other side of the room basically has the other
Two
half of the room is
sections,
divided into two separate
left and
sections,
right.
left and right. Correct.
Okay. I see a coin toss in our future. Um, all right. Well, if the doc doesn't see anything, he's gonna walk up to the dividing line, but not step over yet.
Okay.
Take a look, and it's is there any gap, or do you just barely perceive the line between the steel?
Um, nah, I'll give you this one. It is it's can't be more. There is a gap, but it can't be more than the thickness of a sheet of paper.
Okay.
It's
Oh well.
precision.
And we are talking about the same alloy as the building, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure. Um, uh, the doc turns around and looks at TB and Ace and says, "Well, we're waiting." Judge Scales. What are you guys doing? Are you coming with?
Yeah. Ace is just looking around nervously, covering the rear. He doesn't know what to make with much of the stuff that's going on, but he's still with it a bit. But yeah, he's just looking around nervously.
TB will take the point, I guess.
All right. So anyway, the doc looks at Ace and TB and says, "I'm really glad you're with us with me. So it's time to do something rash." Um, before he does anything, before he steps in that other room, just on the off chance, he takes out the flute and he plays the notes again.
Oh, the notes he played to get
To
in.
get in.
The door slammed shut behind you guys.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Do you guys want to keep the door open?
Elena looks to TB. Is there another door? Is there another egress out of here, or
No.
is this just a single chamber? Okay. Um, maybe we should close it, Doctor. That thing is out there.
TB's worried that we're going to have to run out of here.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, could something follow us in versus having to run out?
Well, either way, we won't see it. We know that they're invisible until they're not.
Oh, and this door is one of those rapid up in the ceiling like on Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Did it make the psh sound?
I
Yeah.
love it.
Come.
Okay. I had to try it out. I was wondering if playing the flute might open a door in front of us, but it did not. So I'm gonna play the notes again.
Okay. So the door reopens.
All right. I'm gonna put the flute away. Don't want to lose that thing. And
Did you guys ever read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Not to interrupt you, I'm sorry, but I just had to say it. Part where
Yeah.
Marvin's bitching about the smug, self-satisfied doors.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
another one of those smug doors.
I had forgotten about that. That's funny.
all right. There's nothing for it. Um, The dock is going to move into the next section, but on the right hand side.
On the right hand side. Okay. Very well. What does everybody else
That's what my random number generator said do.
do?
You're moving to the right hand side.
We don't have
To
a
the
map,
right hand
Marty.
side.
I said she was going
No.
left, so
Okay.
she'll stick on the left.
Okay. So Elena goes left, Marty VP or Mercer goes right. What does TB and Alex do?
This is just to get to the other side of the room, right?
Yeah, just
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just that the second half of the room that we just stepped into is actually split the long way, so there's a left and right panel on the floor.
Yeah.
Again, with a line that looks like you could barely put a piece of paper between it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe we should hang here for a second, see if these two guys fall through anything.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna have to get them out if they do.
Indy, very dangerous. You go first.
All right. Well,
All
so
right.
uh, Elena probably sees this as well because she stepped on the left side, correct?
That's correct.
Just a few seconds after Dr. Mercer stepped on the right side. Um, Nothing happens for a moment, and you start to wonder if anything is going to happen. And then after 15 or 20 seconds, the part of the floor that Dr. Mercer's on, almost faster than you can see, shoots up. Okay?
Shoots up.
Yeah, shoots upward. Like out of view, gone. Probably a couple seconds after that, like Elena, you barely have time to react. Kind of maybe I don't know what that reaction looks like.
I know.
Yours shoots down.
Yeah, it's an elevator.
Um, Ace
Oh, God.
and TB are standing there and watch this happen. Um, uh,
Approximately what speed does this shoot
well,
down? By the way,
that's what's interesting. It you you get have the sense that it's going faster than any turbo elevator you've ever been in back on Earth or any colony or anything. Like the metallic walls inside and the ceiling, by the way, the ceiling is still there. Like the ceiling's above you, with the little egg-shaped lights around it. Uh, the but the metallic alloy of the walls is going by you so fast. It's just, Elena, you don't understand how you're not glued to the ceiling.
wow.
Mercer, the reverse effect. You're amazed you haven't been turned into a puddle of jelly on the floor. Is going so fast. The amount of G forces that should be involved, but interestingly enough, you feel absolutely no force at all. It just feels like you're just standing there as you shoot either up or down this shaft in your respective uh, directions. Elena's just goes pretty much straight down. Mercer's is a little different. Mercer's, while it certainly goes up, you get a little bit of um, a sense of lateral motion, and
Like I'm
then
moving through a scorpion's tail.
yeah, because you reach a point where it starts to, you seem to be going almost more horizontal than you are vertical. By the way, there is absolutely no sound that accompanies any of this motion. It's perfectly silent. Um,
And no air movement.
no air movement at all.
Ooh.
Elena, you get to your destination first,
Oh boy.
and your platform or elevator car or whatever it is drops down and comes to a sudden halt, which again in an elevator would make you, feel like you would slam to the floor, but that doesn't happen. And the you're in a small room. When I say small, I mean it's small compared to the other rooms you've been in. It's probably, or on the, I should say, if you step off the platform you're on, there it's probably 20 meters wide, 10 deep. There is a huge door in front of you, on the other side of the room, and the room itself is completely nondescript. It is not metal though. It's cavernous, but it is perfectly smooth and worked.
All right, so she uh I think what happens is like the elevator gives way and like moves at hyperspeed, and like she immediately like drops into this chamber and just like fires a shot into the floor
Oh shit.
just from like sheer surprise.
Okay. All
And
right.
yeah.
So everybody hears that gunshot, which I think is even Mercer, because again, there's no noise in this rather odd elevator car that you're in. I think that's worth a point of stress hearing a gunshot.
Oh,
Thanks
it,
for nothing.
is
Excellent.
there like is there a visible shaft, or is it the ceiling came with me, right?
No, the ceiling came with you, so you can't see up the shaft.
Okay.
Now, as a side note, Ace and TB, uh, where these guys were, the floor and the ceiling is literally just gone. Now there's a huge shaft that goes down, a huge shaft that goes up, and they're actually all part of the same shaft.
I'm going to call OSHA.
Yeah, definitely not kosher.
All right, so she steps out into this room,
Okay.
and it's nondescript, cavernous. There's nothing of interest in here but a
Mm-mm.
door.
But a big door on the other side.
And she like looks behind her at the elevator.
Mm.
And does it do anything when she steps out?
No.
Um, oh man, she she like looks around wide eyed, and then she like gets back on the elevator.
All right. And after a few seconds, it starts to shoot back upwards.
Where do I land?
Oh, you end up back with TB and Ace.
All right, you see her like wide eyed, silent, like shoot back up into the room, and she looks at you too, and she says, "Oh, oh, sorry, it caught me by surprise." And she steps out and she says, "There's a there's a basement. There's nothing down there. Small room with a door. I think I shot it."
Yeah, Ace is looking around like, Where did you go? What was down there?"
Is a basement. I don't know, a room. I just got back on the elevator.
Well, get back over here so you don't go anywhere again.
Uh, she nods. Where's Mercer?
So, speaking of Mercer, Mercer, it takes you a few seconds longer to get to your destination. It's a it's a longer trip, but it still goes by lightning fast. Just the speed of which this elevator car or transport or whatever it is moving. Um, it comes to a sudden stop, and there is a and there's a platform in front of you. Um, the And this is really interesting because it comes to a dead end, and there's this platform in front of you that's 20 meters wide and about 10 meters deep. There is a there's only one way to describe it. It looks like a giant metallic sphincter set into the wall on the other side. It's
Vertical wall, you mean?
what's that?
A vertical wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
But a half dozen metallic plates that overlap each other in a circular pattern, about 10 meters across.
And there's nothing to the left and right of me,
Mm-mm.
just the shaft walls, right?
Right.
And the room is a platform with a big sphincter on the end.
Yep.
Well, maybe a big sphincter should walk into the room.
You
Let's
said
think about
shaft
it.
and sphincter in the same sentence.
I'm really struggling here, fellas. It's a good thing my mic is a mute.
all all right.
um, all right. So you step into the room.
Um, yes, because I'd like to look at this. I'm a spend. Yeah, the doc is afraid that if he keeps standing here, this thing will activate and he'll go back since there's no other device.
Mm,
You know, I'm assuming it's like an elevator. It goes up and it goes down. So I'm gonna step in.
okay. You step in off of the, shall we say, the elevator and move into the room. You figuratively jump out of your skin as the giant metallic sphincter uh, uh, retracts. All the metal plates retract, and it opens up with a loud bang, revealing a set of rooms on the other side.
Hmm, cool.
So, so those of us that are following along, the doctor was taken up
Correct.
and then
Correct.
sideways, and then now the wall opening opened up, and there's more rooms.
Correct.
All right. The doc is gonna step back onto the lack of a better word elevator contraption and wait.
Yeah. After 10-15 seconds, it shoots slightly up, then over, and then down.
Okay. And when I come to a stop,
Yep. The team is there. Yep.
all right. The doc says this is so cool. You guys need to come with me and check out the big sphincter.
Yeah.
So I explain what I saw. This is clearly a conveyance up the scorpion tail. Clearly conveyance up the scorpion tail. And when I stepped into the room, for lack of a better word, a big metal sphincter looking doorway opened up and showed more rooms. Um, Now, just to be clear, where we're standing now is clearly a dead end. There's nothing at the end. It's either the right platform or the left platform. Is that correct?
Right.
So, um, I look over and you know what? I'm going to step back where these guys are because I'm afraid if I keep standing there, it might activate and take me up again. So, but when I looked over to the other side of where I was standing, um, Waylon wasn't there anymore, right? She's standing with the other two.
Correct.
Okay, so I know she went on the left hand side, so I just asked her. Um, this thing took me up to the, I think, to the end of the scorpion tail or near the end. What happened when you stepped on the other side?
I'm guessing some kind of basement. I went down. There was a room, kind of an antechamber, with a door. I didn't go farther than that.
Well, I think we can go up or we can go down or we can split in half and do it. You know, splitting the group always works out so well. What do you guys want to do?
We're here to blow something up, right? Isn't that downstairs?
We don't know. We're trying to figure out if this thing has something that's causing the time anomalies, which would mean some kind of, I would think, some device that can bend space time. So, one is it takes a lot of energy. Maybe that's why there's 12 fusion reactors. Um, but maybe there's got to be a control system. So,
Well,
pick up or down.
let's go one at a time. Let's head up. And she walks over to the up elevator with you. And
Okay.
And
Come on, folks. This thing's going to activate in 9, 8, 7, 6. Are they coming? We all going?
I'm on.
I'm on.
All right.
All right, let's go.
Yeah. So, you guys experience
Oh,
the same thing as the platform slash elevator car shoots its way up.
oh. Can you?
Um,
I got to drop a second.
okay. And you reach this top room that Mercer described with the big sphincter, which I failed to mention to Mercer, closed when he stepped foot back on the elevator platform. But so you guys reach up and you see this. It's exactly as he describes it. It almost reminds you of some of the metallic vent covers that you remember seeing on some of the older classes of spaceships that
Hmm.
could open and close. But it's much larger. It's 10 meters across, and it's completely closed in the middle. Whereas those vents always had a slight opening in the middle. You always thought those were very dangerous. They looked like they had sharp edges.
Okay, I'm back.
So yeah. You guys are looking at this opening.
An open doorway, and this room. There's nothing else in it. It's just the room.
Right.
Does it have some of those goofy light
Oh
eggs?
yeah.
all right, gun out in front of her. She begins to proceed slowly into the room.
Yeah, as you step off, as soon as you step off the platform, the 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 metallic plates retract and open up, giving this 10-meter wide doorway that moves into another set of rooms that are lit again by these egg-shaped lights. You see a the whole thing slants vaguely downward, and there on the far side there seems to be a ledge.
Hmm. A ledge, like up or down.
Uh, uh, it seems to drop off. The floor seems to drop off,
Hmm.
just from what you can see from here.
Okay. Well, uh, how many rooms do we see on left and right?
Actually, it's really just one large room. I said
Oh,
rooms
just one
plural,
large
but
room.
it's just one large room.
Oh, okay. So as we step in here and start looking around, if I look left and right, what do I see?
The room is lit by those eggs set into the ceiling, those
Yeah.
egg-shaped objects, egg-shaped lights. There's not much here. There are set into alcoves on the left. There are several I mean, it is what it is. They immediately strikes you. You've seen them before. These strange biomechanical suits that you've seen some of the statues wearing. That really are striking you as spacesuits or survival suits.
But they're
These
really big, right?
Right, they're really big. They're made for someone
Okay.
who's 10 feet tall. These are set into alcoves on the left. There's three or four of them. But beyond that, there's not much in the room.
Okay. Um, so as I mosey forward towards the ledge, um, as I mosey forward toward the ledge, do I start to get a better view?
Yep,
Yeah.
there is a huge circular set down in the floor about 10 feet down. It's or the floor, I should say, on the other side of the ledge is about 10 feet down, and again, it is almost like it almost looks like a circular sphincter. It's about 10 meters wide in the floor itself.
Duh. Um, I don't like where this is headed. So if I walk up to the ledge, then there's a 10-foot drop to the big ass sphincter
Correct.
door. Um, and nothing else but stupid egg lights. And hmm,
Correct.
well, this clearly is not leading to, well, so far we haven't identified um, any machinery or controls.
No.
Do you think the I turned to look at the others. These suits are here for a reason. Whoever developed this contraption, these folks would put on a suit. I wonder if they come here to put on a suit and then they go down through that door down there to some destination in space or time, maybe?
Be my guest.
Since there's no windows or anything, it's difficult to tell, but based on the downslope, we're beginning to feel like we're at the end of the scorpion tail. Would I say that I have surmised that correctly?
Make a straight wits roll.
Straight wits. I don't have any. They're all fractured at the moment, but straight wits.
Yeah. Well, three. Okay. Three success. I don't know what I can do about that. But roll your panic if you would. You're absolutely sure that you're at the bulbous end of the scorpion tail. Now, what's beyond that door? But based on how far you think you've traveled and the path you've traveled, that type of thing, you definitely think you're in the bulbous end of the scorpion tail.
Okay, well, I'll relate that supposition to the folks, and I'm just gonna tell them that I'd like to explore further, but I really have a bad feeling about this. If there's time dilation, then going through that door might send you to another time, possibly. Um, or what if the door opens and you fall all the way down to the ground? That could be bad.
It's 1,000 meters above the city, probably.
Yeah. Or we don't know, but it's possible the radial door opens and there's another room just below it. This may not be the very, very tip of the tail, but we're very close to it. Um, oh, mama. Um,
So she's starting to shake off her shock, I think, and she says, "Does this get us any closer to shutting this thing down? Maybe we should look at the basement before we start experimenting with things we don't know."
Ace says, I'm with her.
And before we're sucked into a black hole or something.
um, clearly, it seems prudent to check out the other direction because these suits are here for a reason. There's got to be a reason why they would have these suits to proceed, and they don't fit us. And nor do I want to go somewhere that needs a suit, an environmental suit. Um, okay, let's see. Let's go back and see what we can find down in the basement.
All
All
right.
right.
Uh, okay.
All right. Well, a bunch of yada yada. You guys go back down, then you step over onto the other platform, and you go back down, and you find yourself in that room again. It's natural it seems to be natural rock, just smoothed and shaped perfectly, with a large door on the other side. It's 20 meters wide, 10 meters deep. The room itself, and the wall's a good or the door's a good 10 meters wide. Makes up about half of the width of the far side of the room.
Well, this seems a little bit safer.
Wall is how wide?
The wall itself is 20 meters. The room itself is 20 meters across. The door is about 10.
That's a big ass door, 33 feet.
Yeah.
Um, that's a big door. I wonder if they're moving some big stuff through here. Um, all right, so walking forward, we don't see any markings on the wall as it's all smooth like the other ones.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. The doc's going to approach the door.
Okay. The door opens by itself. It opens. It doesn't open up. This one opens, splits at the middle and opens wide. Opens all the way up. And what you find is you find room 4 in front of you from the sublevel map. You're on the other side of that room.
Oh, that's just great. Room 4, wasn't that the
I'm very confused.
room 4? Wasn't that the
With all the
room with
dead
all the
bodies.
dead bodies in it?
Yep.
Oh wow.
All right. So remind me of this room. Is there any equipment in there? Panels, what looks like controls?
There is, but a lot of it is damaged.
Ah, now I get it.
So is this like a teleporter? Am I just confused? I thought room 4 was
No,
like underground.
room 4 is underground. Remember, we just took the thing down. We just took the
Oh, down,
elevator
that's
down
right.
to the basement
That's right. That's right. Okay, not
to
confused
rock,
anymore.
and now we move forward. So this is all starting to come together. The big giant cavern that we bypassed for the moment that has the reactors in it that provides the power for this thing. This apparently was a control room that controlled this thing. I think that this technology, which is far beyond us, gave them the ability to move in space time or in space uh, or time. So, depending on when they were going or where they were going, they might need those environmental suits up there. Maybe, um, and with this battle here and all this damaged control equipment, maybe this thing is operating all sporadically and at random because the controls are all Jabberwocky. So our problem is that there's there's probably no way to shut it down from here, but let's take a look. So as we look around, um, there's extensive damage to all the control panels,
Oh
right?
yeah. Some of it. You know what? And make an observation roll.
Why not? With all this stress,
Yeah. Why
let's
not?
do it.
It'll be fine. It's
What
fine.
if we
This is
got to
fine. Everything's
lose?
fine. You get so worried.
I didn't say I was worried.
Well, look at you. Came out of that just fine. See? Knew it was all going to be okay. Um, so, yeah, the all the equipment is very heavily damaged. Damaged in different ways. Some of it looks like concussive or force-based damage, as if hit by something. Um, uh, One of the panels looks like it was burned, uh, uh, which I can't imagine how hot something would have to be to scorch and burn away these controls, especially with what this metal seems to be. Um, the and then some of the panels were looks like were practically melted by something highly corrosive. And you do have a stunt.
Oh, um, let me pull up my cheat sheet real quick. Observation stunts.
Actually, I've got a use for you if you like. I'm just gonna take control of it and tell you what you get with your stunt. How about that?
Okay.
Because I'm such a nice guy, making this easy. As you're looking around at the damage and concluding, you know, you something just doesn't seem right, and you're looking at one particularly corroded panel, and something kind of catches your corner out of the left, catches your attention out of the left corner of your eye, and you kind of glance over it, and it's one of these dead creatures, and you're kind of looking at it for a moment because something about it just seems a little off, and then you realize what it is, and that is that all of these corpses and bodies have been here for so long that they're almost mummified and grayed. Remember when you touched them earlier, they started to just collapse to dust. But
Right.
this one isn't. It's onyx, and it's perfectly black, and it reflects the light like onyx. And as you kind of look at it for a moment, it starts to move and rise from the floor. So, hey guys,
Wow. All right.
who wants initiative cards?
Well, you
Who's
know what?
ready?
I'll take one. I'll take one of those.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet you
Uh,
will. I am going to. So here's what I'm going to do. The alien gets two, so I'm going to go left to right. So I'm going to start with me on my screen because I'm first. Alien's first card is a six. Marty VP, you're next on my screen, and you get a nine. Elena, you're next. You get a one. Look at you go.
Oh, fun.
Ace gets a four. Crom gets a two, or I should say TV, and then the alien's other card is a three. So,
Oh Lord.
number one, number one is Elena. Elena gets to move first. What
All
would
right.
Elena like to do? You get a fast and a long, or a fast and a slow action.
Okay. So, what does frantically shooting? Is that fast or slow?
Shooting a weapon is always a slow. Um,
Okay.
so you do have the list of fast actions, which
Aiming is one, right?
aiming is one, which would give you a bonus of two. Um, are you trembling? I don't remember.
I am. Yes.
Sure. So
Okay.
she's got a minus
So that's a
two on it
minus
too.
two. So there's no modifier on your attack. I'm going to call it close range because Mercer was the one kind of moving around looking through the room, and it's a big room, which doesn't give you any penalty or bonus or anything. You are welcome to aim and fire with a total modifier of zero if you like.
Okay. So, am I clicking this cube by the weapon? Is that how that?
We learned it doesn't work, so just roll the range. Just click ranged combat, and to show, I've got the alien right next to Mercer on the map, and I've got the rest of you just a little ways away from it to show you're at a different range from him.
Okay.
All right, and we have three successes and a panic. Now here's how panic works in this instance. First off, roll your panic.
Okay. All right.
All right. So the good news is you don't stress out any worse. The bad news is because you panicked on a ranged weapon attack, it's basically Elena just sees this thing and, as the word would indicate, panics and basically just pulls the trigger a whole bunch of times. She empties her clip. so
Oh,
she
that's what I
will
had
not be
envisioned.
able to shoot again until she reloads.
Okay.
The good news is you have two successes. You have a weapon that does one damage. Now, the alien does have armor. So we're going to
Oh boy.
roll the alien's armor rating. It gets no modifications. Oh, my numlock is off. I was like, why did that not work? Um, so it had two
Oh no.
successes on its armor. So it absorbs the one damage, and it's going to absorb one of your extra successes as well because of the armor. So with that one extra success you have, you can pick a stunt from ranged combat. So you can do one damage, or you can do one of the things that one of those stunts lets you do.
Say that again. It
The armor basically
yeah.
counteracts
Gotcha.
the damage from the first success and then one of your second successes. So you have one extra stunt,
Okay.
which you can pour into ranged combat stunts. Which I don't know if you have your cheat sheet handy.
No, I don't have it
That's
handy.
fine. I can get that for you
Let me
very
pull that up in
quickly.
my email here.
Range combat stunts, you can do 1 point of damage. You can pin your enemy, which causes them to do a panic roll, which does not count in terms of an alien.
Okay.
Um, you can take that alien's initiative card, except you already have the best initiative in the game, so you don't want to do that. Your target drops a weapon or handheld object, which doesn't count because it's an alien. Or you can cause it to fall to the ground, which would make it use its fast action to stand back up.
We're gonna do that. I'm gonna have it fall to the ground.
Okay. All right. So your bullets ricochet off of its armored carapace, and it doesn't seem to harm it at all. But the force of so many rounds hitting its armor does cause it to kind of collapse under the weight of the assault. Um, all right. So next we have TB.
Do I get a fast action? Is that
Oh, your aim was the fast action.
okay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
TB. It is your turn.
TV will fire her assault rifle.
All right. So again, the range not being engaged, you don't have a penalty for closeness. You do have a fast action if you wanted to use that to aim, or if you wanted to reserve.
Yes,
Okay, so
I
that
believe
gives
I
you a
will.
+2, and go ahead and roll range combat with +2.
Yeah, where is that on the character sheet? Okay. Range combat +2, you said?
You got it. All right, two successes, and where's my armor? There's the armor. Roll the armor. Your weapon is not armored piercing, correct?
No,
All right.
not that I know of.
Yeah, well, it would say on it. So you have your assault rifle does 2 damage, correct?
It looks like that.
Yeah.
The second box here is a 2.
Yep. So it does 2 damage. So his armor absorbs the 2 damage that you do, but you do have a stunt, um, which
I can do extra damage.
yeah, I mean, really the only thing that applies at this point would be doing a point of damage.
Why not?
All right. All right. So he takes damage there, and then he rolls acid, which didn't roll for some reason. Why did this not roll?
When you said he takes damage, I heard it go
Yeah, that's
in
right.
my head.
Do I have that sound
Well,
effect? I've got that sound effect here somewhere. Um,
I'm look,
all right. Why isn't all
when
right?
you hold it. When you did soldier armor, it popped up on a box that I can see with all the rolls.
Right.
Then you did acid splash, and this little box popped up that said soldier acid splash,
Yeah, but it didn't actually roll any dice, and I
but it
don't know
didn't do
why.
anything.
Yeah, there's. I don't know if it's user error, if there's something in the character sheet that I need to do. I don't know what it is.
All
All
right,
right,
well,
so
good
we're
luck with
we're
that.
going to yeah, we're going to do that. Here's what I'm going to do. His acid splash rating is the same as his armor rating, so I'm just going to roll that, and it took 1 damage, so the acid splash goes up by 1. Submit 1 point of acid damage to anyone in engaged range. Mercer, do you have armor?
Um,
I don't
Good
believe you
question.
do.
Um, I don't think so. Where would I see that?
Under it's right under the all the rolls in the center of the screen. It says armor.
Zero.
Yeah. So Mercer, you take 1 point of damage,
Okay.
and that of course gains you a point of stress. As TB's rounds, most of them ricochet off of this thing's. Assault rifle. I see a 3 round burst being fired, and several of these rounds ricochet off of its armor. But one of those rounds breaks through, and this yellow green caustic fluid spurts out onto Mercer, starts burning through his clothes and reaches his skin. So you
Oh,
took a point of damage and a point of stress, and then the alien attacks. It, of course, uses its fast action to stand and rises up from the ground over Mercer. And then, here it goes. It does an all out attack against Mercer.
oh my.
Oh boy.
It comes at him with teeth and claws and everything, and does 2 damage to Mercer.
Okay.
Um,
Mercer is at 0 health.
Mercer is at 0 health. Mercer, would you please roll off your character sheet a D66?
Oh my.
D66.
D66.
And a
Oh,
suggestion: rolling low is better.
yes, I know. 53 is pretty high.
Oh no.
um, One of its claws slices through your leg, and and of course, you gain a point of stress for this, by the way,
Why not?
because you took damage. But you realize as you're collapsing to the ground, broken, uh, it has cut your femoral artery.
Oh my.
Oh shit.
Not much time to live.
Bye bye.
You are broken. You can speak, and you can crawl, but that is all you can do.
Okay.
Um,
So I can't use my own medical aid capabilities to save myself.
correct.
That's gotta be a bummer.
Wow.
We are at a number 4, which is Ace.
That's me. So yeah, quick action is aim, right?
Correct. Aiming's a quick action, gives you a +2.
I'll aim, and I will fire my pistol.
All right, fire away.
And to do that again, I just roll
Roll
close
ranged combat,
range
yeah,
combat.
and then add 2 to the modifier.
Oh,
Oh, no
I suck
successes
today.
and a panic. Roll your panic, please.
All right, nice.
All right, holding
Huh.
it together, but
Man,
seeing Dr. Mercer go down and the blood pumping out of his leg, you just start pulling the trigger wildly, spraying and praying. Your clip is emptied and you hit nothing.
yeah,
Pulp
Um,
Oh
Fiction
man.
moment.
yeah.
yes, it is.
Now the alien gets to go, and I think, um, I think that kind of got a 50-50 here because it's being attacked by these other people. So on an even, it's going to do something to Marty VP. On an odd, it's going to go after everybody else. On an even, uh, it scoops up Mercer, who can barely struggle weakly. And that's a slow action. And then as a fast action, it goes through this door, carrying Mercer with it.
Oh shit.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, oh no.
Um, Mercer, it's your turn, but you can't do anything but speak.
Help me!
His voice trails off.
That's right. Next round, it has moved through the door into the little room, but that the little vestibule that moves up into three. It has Mercer in its arms. Number one gets to go. That is Elena. What would you like to do, Elena? Um, Roro.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, I was muted.
No, it's okay.
He's so the alien has disappeared into this other room
Well, you can
carrying
see it.
Mercer.
The door's open.
I can see it. However, I have expended all of my ammunition. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. So I guess I'm gonna fumble to reload,
All right. So that's your slow action, reloading, and then you have
and
a fast action.
I'm gonna step uh step back. I think in line
Okay.
with the rest of the crew here.
All right. All right.
Um,
That is just fine.
okay.
All right. That brings us to TB.
Any chance of an aim shot?
Oh yeah, you got your fast action. Yeah, you can aim.
All right. Well, I mean, he's bleeding out of his femoral.
I only got a few health, guys, just to let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll take a shot.
All right. So range combat with a +2. Two successes. So I need to roll armor. Armor. All right, so its armor absorbs the base 2 damage of your gun. You have one success that you can do a stunt with. So you could do a point of damage,
Yep.
or actually, you could make it drop Mercer.
I will make it drop Mercer.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Drop that
Sweet.
ghetto blaster.
So yeah, the rounds hit it in the back, doesn't seem to do any damage, but it kind of staggers it for a moment, and Mercer falls to the floor, which makes it its turn. Oh, okay. All right. Well, if that's the way we're going to play, that's the way we're going to play. It doesn't pick Mercer up. It uses its fast action to move back into the room, and I think it attacks TB. I think it has to
Oh,
attack
shit.
TB because TB is the only one that's hurt it so far.
Oh,
Oh, geez. All right. TB, you have armor.
I do. I have armor 4.
All right. Well, its attack is armor piercing, so roll armor, but subtract -2 from the roll.
How do I do that?
When you click armor, it should ask you for a modifier, and just type in -2.
Mm. Oh, that's right. It's the little square.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. -2.
Yep.
Why does it do that? I can't get a minus to show up.
Really? All right. Well, in that case,
Why the heck is it doing that? I hit minus and it puts 2 down.
that's weird.
Let me see over here. Okay, well maybe it's just the number pad. Something weird with the number pad. All right, I did it.
Oh, there you go. No successes. So in a whirlwind of claws and teeth, TB takes 3 damage
Oh shit.
and gains a point of stress.
All right, so I am 4. Whoops, I'm down to 1 health and a point of stress.
All right.
Okie dokie.
Ace, it is your turn. It is in the room at point blank range with the three of you.
all right. Aim and shoot.
Oh, your weapon is out.
Oh,
You
did I? Oh, because I panicked.
You
yeah.
panicked,
That's
yeah.
right. Right. So, I reload is not a fast action.
That is a slow action.
Jesus. Alien dropped Mercer though. Right?
Correct.
Well, I'm gonna run over to him then.
Okay, now to do that
Mhm.
requires a mobility roll on your part because you're at engaged range with the thing. If you fail, it
Okay.
will get a free attack.
That's fine.
All right.
Uh, is that's agility though, right?
Yeah. It's under it. So yeah.
Can I? Let's see. My reckless feature has I may push agility rolls twice, not just once.
Yeah. So if you don't succeed at this, as long as you don't panic, you can push it, and then you could even push it again if you needed to.
All right, that's what I'm gonna do. So,
All right. Roll your mobility, sir. You succeeded. So as a
excellent.
fast action, you move over to Mercer. Well done.
Excellent. I don't really have any medical aid, but am I allowed to try
Yeah,
medical?
it's always yeah, it would be you would just roll medical aid, which is just going to be based on your empathy. What exactly are you trying to do?
Well, he's got his femoral artery, right? So I'm going to try to put a tourniquet on
All right. So
with
I have
something.
I have a question.
Yes,
In my backpack is a med kit and a surgical kit.
correct.
Can he pull it out of my backpack and use one?
It would take his slow action. It's a fast
Oh,
action to grab an item from another person, so
and
he's
he
got
already
his.
used this fast.
Yeah, he already used his fast, but he's got his slow, which he can substitute as a fast. So he can use his slow action to grab either the med kit or the surgical kit. The med kit is a one time use that gives you a +2 bonus to any medical aid roll. The surgical kit is what you actually need to treat a critical injury.
Now, since he's down and can't treat himself, but he's still conscious, can he talk me through this
Yeah,
and
oh
then
yeah, he can
roll?
talk. It's all he can do.
All right, so I'll let him decide on what the best action to save him is.
So, all right. So the med kit, if he uses the med kit and it gives him +2, that aid just unbreaks me.
It does unbreak you, but it doesn't treat the critical injury.
I know. So
Yeah,
that means I still have limited time.
right.
For a femoral artery, how many rounds do I have?
It's I believe you have a turn, which is 5 to 10 minutes,
5 to 10 minutes. And
and a round is 10 seconds, give or take. So 10 to 20
so far
seconds.
we've only used 2 rounds.
Yeah, yeah,
So I've got plenty of time before I bleed out. But
yeah.
now let me ask you another question. If he unbreaks me,
Yeah,
can I then use the surgical kit on myself?
you can.
That's the smart thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so you go ahead and use my med kit out of my backpack.
Well, I have to do the slow action to get it. So would it make
Correct.
more sense for me to try to do it without, to put on a tourniquet without the med kit? And then the next round, I would do fast action to grab it and treat it at the same time.
You can try
I'm
that if you
confused.
just want to make a medical aid roll to try to unbreak him.
Does that because that's actually because otherwise, if I just pull it out now, then it's the end of my round,
Right, and
and
then it's
then
not until your next round you get to actually do
So
anything.
what's
and then
your
I get to
what
try it
oh
once.
well, what's your empathy
Not good. I
medical
mean,
aid?
it'll be a rule of three
Ooh.
because I have zero medical aid.
Well, I'm not gonna die in one melee round.
I'm just saying that if I try it now, we have one extra round of trying something where I think we kind of wasted if I just pull out the medical.
Yeah,
Because a fast action can't be used alongside a slow to do.
Yeah,
To
I'm
do
I'm I'm just thinking because I actually go before you, which means that see my empathy plus medical aid is 5. So by having the surgical kit, I have a good I have
Yeah.
a good chance of fixing myself, but
you could always story point it to
Oh,
to
oh
to. You could
god.
always use a story point to give him 1 point of health and unbreak him.
yeah. Why not? I got two.
Okay. All right. So
Your
click
story
one of those
point.
off,
He's
and
unbroken, and I pull out the surgical kit
all
for it.
right. And
And use
Mercer,
the
you
next,
gain 1 point of health.
and then I pull out the surgical kit so he can use it on the next round.
Good.
All right. Which puts the alien on his turn. I know we're running out of time here.
Yeah.
Uh, for so this will probably be the last round. I think the alien has to go after TB again. Sorry about that, Sharif.
It's all good.
I got to bail, guys. Thanks for
Yeah,
playing,
man.
though.
Yeah, man. This we'll finish this up here in the next minute or so, and then we'll see you next week.
Next week, I'll
All
be
right.
here.
Okay.
See you guys.
See you.
Yeah.
All right. Same thing, Sharif. Roll your armor. At -2 because it was another armor piercing attack. Oh
Oh,
shit. And
Going down.
it's a damage of 2.
That's a minus
So
one.
yeah, so you're
you're
down to
broken.
0 and you're broken and you gain a point of stress and roll a d66 off your character sheet, please.
up in the upper right corner.
Okay, I see it. Thank you very much for that.
Oh, much better than mine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you as it attacks you and knocks you to the ground, you fall and you break a kneecap. You cannot run. Of course, you're broken, so right now all you can do is crawl and speak, but you will not be able to run until that gets. Well, you won't be able to run till it heals, but you need to be treated just to be able to walk. So one problem at a time, I'm afraid. Um,
Okay.
that was the aliens move, and that actually brings us to Dr. Mercer.
Oh, cool. All right. Well,
Guys, I'll be right back. Sorry, 5 minutes.
Go ahead.
okay, go ahead. So, how to use the surgical kit exactly? What does it do for me?
The
I
surgical
do a
kit.
medical aid roll,
You
right?
just do a medical aid roll, and if you're successful, then you treat the critical injury.
All right.
It's not healed, but it allows you to not bleed to death in your case.
All right. And the surgical kit doesn't give me any bonuses or anything on my roll.
Um, correct.
All right. I just wanted to know because I've still got the med kit. I think I'm gonna need. If I survive, I'll need that for TB. I think. All right. So here we go. Medical aid, no modifiers.
Three successes and a panic. So the good news is that well, actually, you got to roll your panic first. Don't get a 10 or above. um, yeah, you just can't handle it. You must move your next action to move away from danger and find a safe spot if possible. Now that is what you did was a slow action. So Mercer, I think you crawl through the door into number three because you're not going to move towards the alien.
Right.
Um, yeah,
So I repaired.
no, you fail
I
because,
failed because
yeah,
of the
because a
stress.
double digit panic roll, you
Okay.
automatically lose whatever the action was and you have to do what it tells you to do.
Oh,
Okay.
Also, all PCs gain 1 point of stress, seeing Mercer choose to just opt out and head the way out. Which I will take care of Elena for that because Kyle had to.
And my stress goes down by one.
Yes, because you're moving away from danger.
Oh crap.
Um, yeah.
All right.
That
Does that end the
that
round?
that ends the round.
All right. Well, um, I think I need to stop there because I've got somebody coming to work on my AC compressor. It's not broken or anything, but I just have a regular appointment, and they're going to be here in just a few minutes.
Yep, that's fine.
sounds good to me. That's. I'm wondering where this is going to go, but
Oh, I'm
I
sure it's
don't
going
think
to be
it's going
fine.
far.
yeah.
Oh, trust your GM. He doesn't want to kill you all quite that quickly. All right, so Elena's. I just need to write down the initiative cards real quick. Ace is on a four. You guys got great initiatives this time.
Yeah. No kidding.
It just didn't help Mercer much. Um,
No, and the surgical kit, is that a one-time use?
no. It's yeah. You always have it.
I always have it. Okay,
Yeah.
so I can try again
Yes, you
next
can.
round. Okay.
All right. So we'll reconvene in 2 weeks, or not 2 weeks, in 1 week, one next week, and see how this encounter plays out. So far, it's I'm afraid to say it's not going well.
No.
But if it makes you feel any better, the alien was wounded once before by TB, and she did hurt it again. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, yeah, but TB is our only good fighter. The rest of us are soft, squishy,
Yeah.
soft and squishy.
yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Can't do much. All right.
Thanks so much, Marty.
All right, guys. We'll see you in a week.
Oh,
Sounds good.
we're wrapping it up. I just sat back down.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
just call it
Did
till
did we
next
save the
week.
doc?
Well,
Mm,
no, he Ace used the story point to at least unbreak the dock and give him a point of health, and then when he made his roll for the surgical kit to stop the bleeding, he succeeded, except he panicked, and his panic roll was an 11. And if you roll 10 or higher, your action automatically fails, and you have to do what it says.
Oh, yeah, and I know my fatal flaw. Guys, I'm sorry. I should have used a story point to automatically succeed without a roll.
oh, well. Eh,
Too late.
okay.
Too late. All right.
All right, guys. We'll see you in a
Sounds good.
week.
Okay. See ya.